Yeah. Visualize you Homeostasis, nigga. In 2020. Look. What happened when you get money? Niggas get mad at you. Look, hoes start choosing, throwing cash at you. Cash, I mean pussy, nigga, you should know. It's all about the money, nigga, in the gold. Look, I feel like Homeostasis, I need all that.
Good morning, gentlemen. It's your host, Dr. Love. And class is in session. We have here God King TV.
Yup.
And we are going to talk about something today that from his YouTube channel brought my attention because I'm pretty much doing the same thing, but on a female level. So, I watched a video talking about no fap, right, for the males. So here's the topic. Basically no fap, but the title is Semen Retention and the Benefits. So I don't really know the demographics on this channel. I don't know the age group, but I do know there's some red pill brothers in here, and I know some purple pills in here. So we talking to both, but let's talk from a point of maybe red pill just want to chill for a minute, because I consider myself a red pill female, but I'm out of that stage now. I'm like in between red and purple. I'm like a fucking yellow or some shit. I don't know. I don't even know if there's such a thing, but we just gonna say I'm yellow right now. Right. So what is the benefits of no fap semen retention for men? And I'm gonna let you talk, and I'm gonna
red pills, just for the red pills first, right?
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah, for the red pills.
So, benefits to a red pill man when it comes to dealing with semen retention. Off top, you want to understand that if we're talking about knowing that cultivating and holding on to your semen does two things. It allows you to have more power when it comes to having control over your own body. So when you're dealing with women from a red pill nature, you can fuck off. You can fuck as many women as you want. The trick is that you want to be able to maximize on the vitality that you're able to keep, which keeps a certain level of light shining within you that attracts those women. This is red pill. I'm talking about red pill to the next level. If you want more women, if you want more bitches looking at you with that glow, that gold sack glow as we call it.
Gold sack glow.
You want to be able to retain your semen.
Okay.
So what I tell people off top is that Tantra is the entry to, like when you're dealing with no fap, that's the entry to Tantra. So once guys on a red pill level understand, fuck it, all the bitches you want, the hack to it is to be able to hold on to as much cum as you can, which means don't be busting off of every single chick you fucking.
So don't bust at all when you fucking. Is that what you're saying?
But that takes a level.
Right. Okay.
They don't.
You can't do that if in the beginning.
Niggas ain't able to do that. That's why the no fap is the entry level to all of that shit, because you got to be able to not want to jack off too much or fuck off too much and bust too many nuts off. You got to be able to say, hey, I want to fuck, but I don't want to retain. I don't want to lose all the power and the vitality that I have.
Because the power is in busting the nut.
Yes.
Okay.
Because you lose all the vitality and the nutrients. That also gives you this glow. Because remember, this is the same substance that creates life. So what do you think it does when it's circulating through your own body? Right? The more you retain it, the more it magnifies. And so from a red pill standpoint, the more that you can go without that, you're going to be able to attract more women, have more vitality, and you're going to feel like that alpha nigga because you are able to realize, damn, I'm hacking the matrix. And this is how you got to think in a simplified way. You got to think in a simplified way is, I can fuck all these women and have my cake and eat it too, and not lose my cake and feel like I got to go and bake another one. That's the hack from a red pill standpoint. And then that keeps you feeling like an alpha because you feel like you got more power. Because you're not giving your power away. There's this dynamic that happens when you do bust off with women, and most guys, red pill, this men and women can understand, is that there's this repulsion effect that happens once you bust a nut and you're dealing with the opposite sex. So that attraction is there. You bust a nut, what happens? Oh, all right, now I got to go. I'm good now. Or you don't want to have to be around the woman too much, or you don't want to. You still feel attracted to her and all those things, but then there's this repulsion effect. You be like, all right, don't touch me right now, or I'm good. I got my nut. Now I'm back to whatever, right?
Right.
The trick is you want to stay in that zone where you're enamored by the feminine. That what makes you turn on even more it'd be the simplest shit that'll make you turn on, because you got the pre-cum glasses that you have on, and then the after post-cum glasses. Still beautiful woman, still everything, but you be like, yeah, that doesn't turn me on right now. Now that it doesn't, give me an hour, baby, or suck me off in 20 minutes, baby. Now we can get back to it. Then you'll get back into this zone where you're charging yourself back up sexually. The thing is that you want to stay in that zone where you can feel like everything she does is turning you on, because that's the feminine. That's what you want. The way you get to hack that is by being able to retain your semen. So it don't matter what she doing. She can take a sip from a goddamn straw, and you just like, Any other time, you be like, bitch, go ahead and drink your Sprite. Bitch, I don't give a fuck. That shit ain't sexy to me right now. But when you're in the zone and you're sexually charged up, and everything that the feminine does outside of you turns you on, that keeps you in this chase, in the dynamics that you're always feeling compelled by the feminine. Everything she does turns you on.
So what you're saying is, by doing that, you're always in the power position. She's never in the power position, and which is nothing wrong with that. But what I'm saying is, to stay in your masculine frame and your alphaness at that time, that's how you always hold on to it. Okay.
And then to that point, you want to be aware of this, because the nature of a red pill is to understand this. If you see nature, you understand there's what is called the Black Widow effect. The Black Widow effect is the same thing that happens with the praying mantis. When the praying mantis females gets done fucking the male, she kills him. This is nature.
That's
same thing the Black Widow. Yes.
Oh shit. Okay.
Yes. Okay. She's the succubus. She's the one who can kill your energy. So you gotta understand there's this dynamic that's always going on. And when you understand it, it's just nature. So it's not, where you're supposed to be like, oh, so fuck women because they do this is what they do. They're naturally supposed to test you. So the Black Widow effect is that she eats you after she fucking fucks you. So that's what happens when you fuck. That's why you roll over and be tired as fuck, because she done drained you. And she's like, ha, 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 I got this nigga. Then what happens? 2 weeks later, and this is something we can talk about later, but 2 weeks later, your body has to go through what's called homeostasis. So from every moment that you have an orgasm, what happens later is your body's trying to recalibrate. So within 2 weeks, you're going to find yourself having a fight with the girl or an issue. And why is that? Because unbeknownst to you, you're feeling some type of way because she drained you of your own feminine energy. So any little thing the feminine does now starts to motherfucking fuck with you. And you don't know why. Or little things she does may pick a fight with you because your emotional nature and your feminine nature is tied together. She drained you of that. So the more you fucking her, the more she's actually draining you, and you're more becoming at a disdain with her.
What?
You know what I'm saying? And you could be in your masculine frame because you're masculine and feminine. She's masculine and feminine. So when a woman does some feminine shit, which is what women do because they're feminine, it doesn't bother you no more. Because remember, you're attracted to the feminine. So the more nut that you hold in, the more you don't bust nuts, the more you're attracted to that feminine anyway, and you become that pillar. So while she's chaos, you become solid in your frame. So that's why when women be like, oh, I love a man who's able to stay solid in his frame, that's only when you can be able to harmonize with your masculine and feminine at the same time.
That's true. And I'm going to put a little pinpoint here. The thing is, especially when alpha women, we call them champagne women over here. We talk about the high maintenance women. We call them champagne women. There's 3 different categories. I should have told you, but okay.
I like that.
We got the champagne women, which is the only women we talking about here. We got the high dollar man, and we got the multi-million-dollar man. So there's 2 different categories. So basically, it don't matter which category they in. We just talking about champagne women right now, and basically staying in your masculine frame, keeping her in her feminine frame. Because at the end of the day, me as being a strong alpha female, a champagne woman, whenever I'm with an alpha male, I always want to be in my feminine. I might test you a little bit just to be a little bitch sometimes, but it's natural. But at the end of the day, I always want to have my man be in his masculine. I don't want to fight with no dude. I don't want to bicker about shit, because when that happens, my aggression turns on, and then I'm in my masculine. And I don't like that. So what you telling me is to keep that power of holding, what you saying with the male got to hold it up or whatever, that keeps him in his masculine frame.
Now peep this. This is back to you saying about testing, right?
Yeah.
Check this out. Any man out here can understand that this is what a woman would do, especially in our culture, because the way we've been pretty much brought up. If you are new to dealing with NoFap, new to dealing with semen retention or dealing with Tantra, I guarantee you, if your woman is not even on a level to understand that when you bring something as similar as saying, hey, I want to start being able to retain my semen. You say that to her, she's like, what? Two things are going to happen. A woman is going to automatically think like, what you doing? You trying to, is it because you're trying to fuck with somebody else? What are you doing? Because in her mind, if she's not draining you,
we feel like we're not doing our job.
Exactly.
Yes.
Exactly.
That's very true.
And so when women say this, they really mean that. So you have to understand what you have to be able to do as a man. You have to be able to explain to her. So that means you have to know what the fuck you're talking about.
But, however, this is not just for fucking bitches, because who fucking cares?
Right.
This is more of purple pill, right? If they're in a relationship.
Especially
so let's just go ahead and go to the purple pill right now.
Purple pill niggas.
Yeah, because here's the thing. If I had a dude and we fucking and I find out you don't nut for me, my feelings are going to be hurt. Because I'm going to be like, nigga, do I not fucking do it for you?
Right.
Like, what are you doing? Like, are you fucking other bitches? That's immediately what my mind's going to go to.
Right.
So you have to communicate what you doing. And then it's up to me to be like, okay, or go ahead. You tell what their
Nah, I
feelings
told
are.
him, I like what you're saying.
Yeah, no, because, I mean,
Yeah.
if this never happened to me, because a man never told me, oh, I'm holding my nut. A man ain't going to tell me that shit.
Right.
But what I'm saying is, coming from me, I would feel offended if you didn't bust. Now, I'm not talking about busting first, because of course I want to get my fucking nut. But at the end of the day, if you my dude, and we fucking, and you don't bust like it at least the first 2 times, I'm gonna feel some type of way.
Right.
So
now, what that means, fellas, you heard it from a woman's mouth. This is what they're gonna feel like. Now, I'm telling y'all, as purple pill brothers, if you are trying to go down this road and still reclaim and hold on to a level of vitality as well as a sense of wellness and fullness for yourself, you're going to have to understand that you're going to be challenged by the feminine in every aspect of your life anyway. So think about in terms of you saying to your girl now, hey, I don't want to bust off too much. I want to retain my semen. She's going to be like, what? Like she said, you have to be able to tell her, hey, these are the benefits for me. This is what it's going to do for me. And if you can understand that once you can feel happy about what it does for you, then you got to let her know it's trickling down to her. And that your happiness is going to be very important. And then once you're happy and feeling full and feeling like the man and feeling like a full man, alpha man, even if you red pill, you're going to understand that that's going to start right there by telling her, hey, I want to retain my semen for this amount of time. You're going to be met with the hostility of what? But this is the good thing about it now. Check this out. This is why you having discipline and understanding NoFap semen retention is going to actually benefit you. Because the natural dynamics of the masculine and the feminine is to fight or oppose. Which is why in astrology, just to show, Cancer squares Mars. Cancer is feminine. It's the moon, but it also squares the moon. It squares Mars, which is Aries. So that's men, women are always going to be at odds in trying to friction and understand this dynamic. But it's good because when you're in the bedroom fucking, you're fighting. And people got to know that. That's why I call the bedroom the dojo.
Oh, shit.
And that's where the battle starts to come around. Now, she knows you said, hey, I want the motherfucking goddamn not bust no nuts. But what she's going to do?
I'm going to try to get the nut up off you, whether you like it or not.
Yes.
I might say I respect that, but please believe, especially a wandon like me, I'm going to try to fuck the shit out you to get it out of you.
And that's exactly what's going to motherfucking happen. And that's the reason why you have to be able to understand that NoFap is the entry into Tantra. Because with Tantra, now you're going to be dealing with knowing that you got a woman saying, hey, I'm going to get that motherfucking out on him every time. So every time you're in the bedroom, understand, she's the Black Widow. So she's going to try to kill you and drain you every single time. Because guess what? That's going to force you to have to boss up and be able to have some discipline, some understanding of sexuality, because now you're going to be getting fucked the best in your life now because she wants to intentionally try to drain you. Now, your job is to be able to hold frame, which means that discipline also means that you're going to have to be like, whoo, you about to pull out and chill for a minute and be like, oh, baby. And then what you going to do? Eat that pussy. Now, guess what? She's happy now. So you might give her about 3, 4, 5 orgasms from eating the pussy. Then you might give her as many as you give her when you get back into it. You take a break, let your energy circulate, get back in it, get out of it when you can, take a break, and come back the next day and say, all right, we done went 4-5 rounds. I'm going to go tomorrow and I'm going to give her 4-5 more rounds tomorrow. Now what? She's pleased. You're pleased. But she's also turned up on you now. Why? Because she's still in the back of her mind is trying to get that out of you. But guess what?
Yes.
Now, guess what? On your end, because you're holding the vitality in the gold sack now, your allure and attraction to the feminine is still heightened. And the more that y'all keep doing this, it keeps being more heightened. So every time she walk past you now, you smacking that ass and she loving it. And every single time you giving her a kiss in the kitchen, she kissing you. And this dynamic just keeps on getting intense. And that attraction is how it builds. And that shit is so dope.
Yeah.
But it's the consciousness that you got to be aware of, that this is a game that happens on a very primal level that most people don't understand.
Yeah.
But it's so fulfilling when you get in the bedroom and you realize that this is so intense. And that's what it's about. So from red pill to purple pill, y'all can understand how important it is to deal with that. Very important.
That's deep. That's deep.
That's some gangster shit.
So let me ask you, for a male that's just trying to hold that retention, like, how does he go about it? Like, does he just start and say, okay, I'm gonna just start doing this, or does it take time? Now let's just say a red pill that's just out here fucking and not worried about no relationship and not telling nobody. How does he even start doing that? How does he start?
As a red pill guy out here running around in these streets turning it up, what I would say off top, yes, I know you want to be out here fucking these hoes left and right going ham right now, but what you should do is you should distance yourself for at least 3 to 4 weeks of not even having somebody influence you. Remember, you got to be able to do this on your own first before you have that big booty, you know what I'm saying, freak coming through, goddamn busting it on you, tempting you. You have to be able to do this on your own. So first, I would say go cold turkey and distance yourself in terms of not even putting yourself in a situation where you cannot get out of and you know you're not strong enough yet.
You said at least 30 days.
At least 30 days. Give yourself 30 days of not having women around you. You can talk on the phone. Don't put yourself in situations. You can go out to eat, have fun, but put yourself in situations where it won't lead to sex. Put yourself in situations where you're around the feminine energy.
What about porn?
And that's what I was about to get to next.
Okay.
Make sure that you're putting yourself in a situation where you're not making sure that the women that you're around won't lead to sex. Secondly, the porn. Back away from the porn. 30 days. And for y'all who always ask the same type of questions, no. That means porn. That means videos and pictures of your girl, ex-girl, your friends, freaks that you fuck with. That also, no jacking off, period.
Yeah.
Well, what if I just use my imagination? No, motherfucker, none of that shit either. None of that shit. Don't jacking off, no porn, none of that shit. And for you guys who out there gonna ask also, because motherfuckers ask everything, well, what about edging? That means none of that shit, no edging. Edging, for y'all who don't know, that means that you are masturbating but you don't orgasm. No, none of that shit. You don't even want to tempt yourself because you're not ready for that. So 30 days at least of you being able to see how this works. And now the reason why that's even more important is because when you go at least within the first 2 weeks, it's going to be the hardest for you. Because what's going to happen is when you start to go within the first 7 days, your testosterone is going to start to spike. So you're going to be like even more horny because you're going to be like, oh shit, I need it. And guess what? That's when you're going to want it more than anything. And guess what? That's when you have to be the most disciplined. So that's why I say don't even be around women if you can. But what does that do? That energy now forces you to do something with it. It has to have an outlet in the channel, right? So what would you be doing? Things that are productive for you. Smoke up L. Visualize you Mount Musa, nigga. In 2020. Look. What happened when you get money? Niggas get mad at you. Look, hoes start choosing, throwing cash at you. Cash, I mean pussy, nigga, you should know. It's all about the money, nigga, in the gold. Look, I feel like Masa Musa, I need all that.